Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the hospital harmonizer herself, Sandy Reevy.
Hi, helping my friend out.
It is episode 350, the week of April 7th. Let's get right into it in the transit. Starting off today, the 7th, Venus retrograde conjunct Saturn.
She's offering a helping hand.
And Mercury stations direct.
Pausing for 4 days.
And Venus retrograde sextile Uranus.
She's joining the party.
Then April 12th, Saturday, full moon at 23 degrees of Libra.
Are these agreements?
And Venus stationing direct.
She turns for 9 days.
Then on the horizon, we have a couple webinars and workshops and a trunk show and a retreat. So stay tuned for that. And in our house, Sandy and I have a story about her new glasses. So stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you.
Hello, hospital harmonizer.
Yeah, I was there all day yesterday for my friend who was doing some outpatient work. So,
Lots of healing, Reiki vibes sent over to him. We're hoping that everything goes well, tests in the future are clear, and he's back on his feet and feeling healthy and good.
yeah, that's what we're striving for.
Yes. And it is wonderful that you're there to be a support system. So,
I'm
job.
happy. I feel joyous when you're asked to. I mean, we are still in Pisces season, even though the sun is in Aries. We've got Venus and Mercury retrograde in Pisces, and it really is the compassionate helping hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
All right, so shall we get into it? In the transits we start today, we had some early transits that we discussed last week. But today, early, we had Venus retrograde conjunct Saturn.
right. I said she's offering a helping hand. She's here. Excuse me. This is her second of 3 passes. And so she's retrograde here. And she's more, even though Saturn would be more, is always the authority figure, right? Is always the mature planet because it's Saturn. And here, Saturn is in her exaltation area in the sky, Pisces. So here she's coming back to meet up with him to kind of offer that helping hand. And kind of what we just said is, helping the authority, helping what it is you want to commit to. This is the second of 3 passes. The first one came in January 19. So if you can relate to something on your calendar that had come up for a glance or a look, and is now coming back to, hey, this is a time when we have to look at it again. And the final pass is April 26th, that she swings by again to make she's like, okay, I'm trying to help you out here. What can you commit to? So I like this, because if we look at this 25-degree where they're meeting up again today on the 7th, this is the exact degree that Saturn will come back to in his shadow period. So he's in his shadow already. And so it's interesting to write down what is going on today. What is about it, whether it's today or the day before or tomorrow, what is happening in this time frame that you need to pay attention to, because there's something you can commit to. Is there a class? Is there a promise? Is there a to-do thing on your list that will take some time, right? Because it's Saturn. Saturn says we don't rush into anything. We do the hard work.
Right. We do it by the book.
Right? We have to study, stay in it, be dedicated, be committed. That's a big word for Saturn. And
And
so,
stabilize. Yes.
yeah, and to build structure and to build and to, all the Saturnian words, if
We
we
already listed a few of them. ST are huge Saturn words.
yeah, structure, responsibility, commitment, authority, building, to take shape and
Strong.
form, the consolidation of one's position in life, right? These are all Saturn key principles. And so Venus coming here is saying, hey, Venus can be the money planet. It's what you desire to buy, purchase, where you're going to put your money. And your love connection, right? So I know you're working on wedding plans. This is
Hmm.
exactly what you're committing to, right?
Right, right.
And you are looking at the money commitment,
Right. It's true.
right? And the marriage commitment. So it's
Yes.
both same and, right? And so what you're doing, there's a graduation of sorts that comes in December of 2025, right? That it's kind of saying here, I'm committing to something now that I will graduate in the end of the year. So,
Yay.
like what is that for you?
Yeah.
I have a feeling I know what that is for me, right? Because we talked about it before we went on air, right?
Right.
Kind of restructuring Venus. Venus is my time lord this year, since
Hmm.
my birthday, not even a month ago. Um, that says Venus, the Venusian qualities. I'm in a 10th house. It's about career and visibility and how I'm seen in the world. And I'm making some adjustments. And one of those is my glasses, right?
And we're going to talk about that in our house. So let's move on to the next transit, which is it's still Monday today. Mercury stations direct. Yay.
Yeah, so he's at 26 degrees. So there's a lot going on around the 25, 26 degrees of Pisces this day, just this one day. So he's
Mm.
pausing for 4 days. And, what are you about to do? Mercury's coming out of his sick bed, right? He's like throwing the covers off, sitting up in bed. You know how you do when you're like, you've been in bed for a while, or if you're in the hospital and you're about ready to leave, you got to take your time in getting
Hmm.
dressed, getting your discharge papers,
Right,
getting
right.
IVs out, having somebody go get your clothes that you want to wear home, right? There's a whole
Yeah.
this slowing down. And when a planet is coming out of its retrograde, it Vedius Valens writes, it's as if it's coming out of its sick bed. So when you can
Hmm.
think about that, what are you about to do? Have you considered all your angles, right? If you have, begin moving now,
Hmm.
right?
And
Start
maybe
sitting
move,
on
yeah, slowly.
sitting on the side of the bed,
Right.
right?
Getting
Maybe it's time to
comfortable.
get your toenails and fingernails cut, right? Like, is
Okay.
there like you get your hair, like you might have been in bed for a while, right?
Oh,
It's kind of like how I'm feeling now, right?
yeah.
We just had
Yeah.
that conversation. It's kind of like I'm ready to kind of see the world now. I've done my hibernation, and now
Hmm.
we could even equate that to maybe you weren't in the hospital, and I hope you weren't, right? Or I hope you weren't
Right.
kind of
Or
in
it's like just like a like more downtime position where it is that hibernation, like you said, or even, seasonal seasonal depression because it's like when it's really, really cold out and there's like nothing to do and you really just want to stay in, like, yeah, it's easy to because there's no reason to like go out and hang by the beach or go to a grill or head to, a bike ride or a walk. It gets
yeah,
harder.
yeah.
So, any more comments about Mercury stationing direct?
No, I really like it because Venus is about to follow.
Yes. So Venus then on Monday, Venus retrograde sextile Uranus.
Right. So this is still Monday. There's a lot going on this Monday. She is joining the party, and what I mean about that, she's bringing the salve or the solutions or the the elixir, the drops of this essence of something that will help out. She is making a sextile to Uranus, and she's the ruler of Uranus because Uranus is in Taurus. Um, because we just talked about the Saturn. Like she is in this position where she is in that kind of grand trine that's forming, that we talked to, that's actually was forming last week. And she kind of comes in and this minor grand trine and, is helping out. She's responsible for a lot of these angles, and she is saying, hey, I'm at 25 degrees. I'm going to go to 24 and I'm going to station direct. So I will be back to help. So are there salvable problems that
Yeah.
she's helping with?
Yeah.
Let's hope.
And And this is also reminding me a bit of the Venus cazimi Sun talisman workshop that we just completed. And we do have a couple talismans that you made extra. So if you were not present during that webinar, you still can get either a charm or earrings. And you set your intention and you can listen to the recorded webinar that was so interesting about like our value and what it is that what we're working on and how do we value ourselves. Where is our
And
self-worth,
and then
right?
you get all the pages. So I just completed someone who, kind of came in after that we had the ceremony, and she already got her paperwork. And
It's great information.
yeah, and there's dates on there that are still relevant. And you can actually, there's some dates on that have already occurred just in the last couple weeks that you would kind of go
Check
back and
through. Hmm.
notate through that. Oh yeah, that's what I'm working on. Because
Yeah,
you can validate that for motivating, this
purposes.
Venus star cycle, which is for another 9 months. We don't get the
Yeah.
next Venus star cycle. She doesn't birth this uh, intention
Project.
until
Yeah.
January of next year. So yes, you have plenty of opportunity to be working this gestational period, right?
Right. And I think already you and I also participate in the talisman workshops as well. And your affirmation and my affirmation, we're implementing. We are doing the work and it's showing our self-worth and it's showing our confidence and it's showing these beautiful feminine qualities that we have. And boom, I like it.
Right, and it's in Aries, so it says I am self-controlling my own worth.
Hmm.
I divvy out what I want. I go after what I want. It's in Aries. I mean, we get that retrograde in Aries every 8 years, so it's not very often.
Right.
So I know that by the time this retrograde in Aries comes back for me, let's add 8 years. Let's see, I'll be 77
Yeah.
years old, 77 years old. So yeah, no, I'm
77 years young.
I'm gonna handle that right now. So there are things on my list that are they're my bowl list. They're not my bucket list. They're my plate. They're on my platter. I have to get to them. They're not deep in a bucket somewhere where I don't see them. I'm angled to work on all of these, and I hope and I'm sure everybody will see this, right?
Yeah. So anyway, in the show notes, we're going to have that link if you are interested in checking out that Venus Talisman workshop. So let's move on. We're like fast forwarding all the way to Saturday, April 12th, for the full moon at 23 degrees of Libra.
Yeah, this is at 7:22 p.m. and it's Libra. It's a full moon, so we know that the sun and the moon are opposing one another. The sun is in Aries, sun very strong, is it
Hmm.
exalted in Aries. So the sun is very strong, making an opposition to the moon because the moon has gotten into this position. So we know the opposition of Aries is Libra. And so it's this, this angled area of agreements. Now,
Mm.
interesting, because what is happening here, we have to always look when we do the full moon or new moon astrology or even the eclipses, we have to look at the players. The sun is in the area of Mars, Aries. Sun is in Aries, ruled by Mars. Mars is making a square. Mars is making a T-square to this angle. So again, Mars is saying, hey, who's agreeing here? It almost it may be a mediator. There's somebody in the middle here that needs to calm things down or something, right? And again, because we have a mediator, sometimes we have to talk through the mediator, right?
Yeah.
Because where one is Sun is in Aries saying, hey, I want it my way. The leader can say, I want it my way, because it's the king, it's the leader of whatever, but
Right.
it's you in your life, right? But if we're looking at our country, it's the leader. It would be the president or the king or the prime minister or whoever this is opposing the moon in Libra, the fairness of the people.
hmm
Now, it's coming from a Mars angle, it's like, how will we be handling this?
Right.
So I hope it is agreements, right? Versus you do this and do it my way.
Right.
Um,
Dictation.
and what I do like about this is the moon is in Libra. What rules Libra? Venus,
Venus.
right? And Venus is just stationing direct on this day, later on this evening, actually like in less than a half hour.
Oh, wow.
We already say she's in her stationary position, moving direct. So what is she doing? Coming out of her sick bed, right? Where she's been for
Yay.
40,
Ah, yeah, yeah,
40
yeah.
days.
hmm
So she is trining Mars. So there is this, she is able and ready to calm down the anger that Mars is pulling into this T square. So she, feminine, she is the ruler of the moon. She is the ruler of the people, the common folk, us, if we were looking at a community, right?
Right. Right.
So,
So should we move to that transit, Venus
yeah,
stationing direct?
yeah.
So yeah, the full moon in Libra, really wonderful time for those agreements as opposed to like opposing views that are a little too strong
hmm
on either side. So finding some middle ground is a key. But so Venus stationing direct, tell us a bit
At
about it.
24 degrees of Pisces at 8:02 p.m. Central, she turns for 9 days. Now, what do I mean by that? She is at the 24-degree area for 9 days, because she
Wow.
gets to 24 very slowly, kind of coming into a train stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And letting everybody off the train. And then the housekeeping has to come in and tidy up the train, refuel, get the mechanics in, let's say, right? And then it turns around and loads everybody up and starts to move out of the 24 degree area. But it takes that long, those 9 days. That's a long
Right.
time, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of like raise your heart, raise your head, raise your eyes to the sky. May she rain down upon you her glittery effect. Because she's in Pisces. This is where she
Sounds fun.
loves being. So, um,
Yeah. Feel vibrant, feel that self-worth, feel and start showing it because like we were talking, off air a little bit before of like that those Venusian qualities of making yourself feel good, however that is, right? Like if it's doing your hairstyle in a special way or putting on some clothes that like might be a little like more dressy than going to just a coffee shop or something like that. But it's doing those little things that make you feel really like proud and confident. And it's always that type of person. I mean, like if it's too much, it's obviously too much. But when there's that person that's like just understands their self-worth and is enjoying it, they're so magnetic. You want to
mhm,
talk to them, like they're
mhm,
having a fun day, and you're just like, share with me, please.
mhm,
Right? So, that is it's a beautiful thing, and so yeah, and that's what we were like also discussing too throughout our um Venus cazimi Talisman workshop because it was all about self-worth
mhm.
and having
Yeah.
that
And
self-love.
how do you value yourself and then walk it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Walk on, walk it.
Make actions towards that. Yeah. So,
It's jazzercise. Let's walk, right?
yes. And you do have a note here for us all that you have no planets retrograde for 3 weeks until May 4th.
Yeah, until Pluto goes retrograde. So we have the rest of April from this 12th, when Venus stations direct, all the way till May 4th is, all forward movement ahead. No planets are turning.
Retrograde. Yeah,
Mhm.
very cool. Just as some notes, everybody, don't forget that you can download an astrology guide and follow along if you are unfamiliar with the symbols or what they mean. That's an easy way to get some bearings on astrology. So download that guide. The link is in the show notes, as well as the place to download your own natal chart. You can download your friends' charts, print them out, and by using the astrology guide, you'll be able to learn a little bit more of these placements. All right, so let's move on to the horizon, where, of course, we want to invite you to our Patreon community. It's a really wonderful time to take note. We also have a very special Neptune and Aries webinar coming up on April 9th.
Right. Yep. We're working on the slides right now. A
Yeah.
lot of good information. Very interesting.
Yeah. So if you do want to join that Neptune and Aries webinar, because Neptune takes a very long time to go through the zodiac, so it will be here in Aries for a very long time. This is like more generational
Hmm.
time frames we're talking about. And so if you are interested, make sure to sign up on Patreon, at least the Big Dipper tier and above, and you'll be invited to join this webinar. Let's see. Don't forget, streaming now, we have our Venus cazimi Sun Talisman workshop that was pre-recorded on March 22nd, but it's still relevant. We're still talking about Venus and self-worth and self-love. So if you are interested in having a talisman that represents that for you, they come in earring form and charm form.
Hmm.
So check that out. Of course, all these links are in the show notes. And I do want to give a special announcement for May 7th. We are hosting a virtual talisman trunk show.
Hmm.
So Sandy will be on screen and show you the talismans that she's been working on and she really adores and loves, and give you some more information on why they were created and if this is the right talisman for you. So
Hmm.
we'd love to have you sign up in the link. If I don't have it this week, I will have it for you next week. So stay tuned and make sure that you're on the email list as well, because then you'll be one of the first to know.
Are
Uh,
we going to do a raffle?
maybe, maybe we can do a raffle.
We did that last time and that was super fun.
Yes. So yes, more information to come, and we will share as many details as we can. And last but not least, maybe the most, we have our 2025 Italy retreat that's happening October 4th to the 11th. And that is going to be a stellar opportunity to dive more into your angels, your spirit guides that are around you, start having these understandings and communication with
Mhm.
those with those entities. And so yeah, any comments?
Yeah, yeah, just it's the Kira class, the karmic integration of reincarnation astrology that I'll be um, discussing in everybody's charts, of soul's mission, past life, soul mission, and how we combine our past life to this current life.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty amazing stuff. And if what are we working on in this life,
Yeah.
and
And
to
so go ahead.
no, and then to have our guides, have we have one guardian angel in this life, and we had one guardian angel in last life. How do we have those? How do we communicate with both?
Hmm. And
Wow,
so if you
interesting.
are interested in learning a bit more about the retreat, like maybe some pictures of the ancient
Castle.
castle that you'll be staying in, click that link in the show notes and check it out. Let us know if you have any questions. And don't forget, you can get a free 15-minute call with Sandy to answer any of those questions.
Mhm.
So, to finalize our episode, let's move into our house where we have a short story of me helping you find some more eyes.
4 eyes to be exact, right? So yeah, it was a fun day.
Yeah,
Because I remember, I've had this prescription from my, up my doctor who's done my
right,
cataract removal and
right.
blah, 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 and I need another one, but I really don't want to do it. And these glasses are over 4 years old, and yes, I've gotten like two or three different prescriptions in the last, say, 3 years, and I'll go up to 4 eyes, which is walking distance from my house.
Yeah,
And I get in there and I'm trying things on. I'm trying to send you pictures, and I'm like, I'm not down with any of these lenses or any of these
frames.
frames. And I do
But
have,
we did bring it down to one.
well, so about a year ago, I I was trying, and I was by myself, right? And I probably should have made sure my hair looked good and I had full makeup on or whatever. And I'm just not feeling any of them. And I think, well, this is probably the best pair, but I have no one here. So they measure me and take my prescription that I had with me and wrote up the order. And I'm like, I still don't know. So she goes, well, then call. I'll put these frames, to the side and call tomorrow when you decide. And so I never called. And so the sale went away, right? Because I was
Mm-hmm.
going there on a sale. And I'm like, man, I need to go. I need to get new glasses. I need new lenses. It's been a year now. Um,
Yeah.
and so I said, oh, Four Eyes is having a sale. Why can you come up? Can you help me? And we had made, okay, so Saturday we'll go up and we'll go up and look for glasses. So we get in there and we're trying on frames. We're trying on frames. We're like, oh God, I really like the frames. But in order to put the new lenses in, I have to give these glasses up for 2 weeks. Not gonna happen.
Right. No, yeah, not gonna
I have to
work.
go into hibernation. And so, I'm really disappointed. I'm not really feeling any of it. And I said, man, here's my order from last time. And she goes, let me see the frames let me look here. And she looks at the order and she said, yeah, no, we don't have that frame in stock. And all of a sudden she gets this like light bulb and she goes, hold on a second.
Let me
She
just
goes
check.
somewhere and looks in a drawer and says, wow, here they are, which was probably waiting a year ago for me to go ahead and uh, order talk about retrogrades, right? And
Yeah,
Venus
yeah.
and Mercury retrograde when we went up, and they still are in the sky right now. So that's another reason why I was like, I'm not going to buy anything with these retrogrades. And so all of a sudden she picks them up and brings them over here. And I said, yeah, these are it. And I put them on and you freak out.
They are so cool, so cute, so edgy, and they just fit your personality really well. And I'm just like, we have found the glasses, and I like them even more than the ones that you currently have that you love, right? Like, so I
Right.
think that it's just this like Venusian upgrade, and she's calling out to you and saying like, yes, yes, Venus, let's go, Aphrodite.
So I said, she goes, yeah, but your prescription here is your lens prescription's, almost a year old. We don't usually like to fill that because your eyes have probably
Changed.
decreased in vision, and so you asked for the ophthalmologist to come to see what these lenses were and how much of a boost the
Yeah.
new
Which
prescription
was funny
gave
because they were like,
them.
yeah, it's like a really busy day because of the sale, so it doesn't look like we have any open time frames. And so
So
anyway, the doctor came out and he's like, you know what? I got you. Let's go. And I really think that that was that like magnetic personality because you when you tried on these glasses, you were giggly, you were like enjoying, and it was just like they totally match your personality.
I mean, we were talking with everybody in there. I mean, the other guy that's working there, he wants to go to one of the vinyl parties because
Right,
we're
right.
talking about, he was more up my age, and we were talking about like Bruce Springsteen, and he was, and
Yeah.
and
Fleetwood Mac.
and
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac, and some of the band members of Fleetwood Mac that I don't know that he does, and it was kind of like everybody in the place knew me and you were there.
Oh yeah. And they were enjoying the company.
And
It
so when
was
the
fun.
doctor came out, I says, "Oh, do you know my ophthalmologist?" And he's like, "Yes, I know her. She's excellent." And blah blah blah. And he's looking at these glasses and measuring these and says, "Your new prescription's not that. It's a very subtle change." He's like, "You're going to spend this money, and you may not get what you want as far as, seeing eye."
Right.
He's like, "Come back here right now. Come back." And went back in and he did my whole eye vision and didn't even charge me for it. Ooh. Um, and he gave me a new prescription and he goes, "These are the lens you want."
Yeah.
So we ordered it with these new frames, and they even gave us a gift when we left because they were so happy that we were there.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
just fun.
It was so much fun. And
I can't
whoever
wait
knew
to
that you
get
would
them.
have that much fun at like a Four Eyes? Like that's great. Um, so anyway, yeah, that was our little story and we're just excited for this Venusian cazimi um opening. This like
Yeah,
reopening of Venus and Aries about how we value ourselves and we march forward with that power and with that contentment. So,
really, I ask everybody listening is how are you moving your self-worth forward? Because it does have to do with, your appearance
right,
because it's Venus. It
right.
is, how can you show up literally, put your face forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shoulders back, chest forward, heart out, smile on, glitter in your eyes, raise your head and get that glittery approach of this feels good, I look good,
Mm-hmm.
and engage, right? Engage and
Yes.
connect with people in the world, make other people happy. We really need it.
Yes, absolutely.
We
And
need we need happiness
yes, and you don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to whatever it feels good and confident in your body, go and do it and be it. And
because it
so,
looks good. What
because it
feels
looks good on
good
you.
looks
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, we just want to share those quick notes and we appreciate you listening in, everybody, and we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story.